All right.
In the beginning.
Welcome back to Between Cultures Podcast, Episode 2, with me, Diamond Jeddah.
And me, Arslan Kamar.
How's it going, brother?
All good, bro. All good. It's we're off. Christmas, as they say.
Nah.
It's not really Christmas for us, is it? But it's nice,
Yes.
bro. It's a lovely time.
Nice, man. And how did you think the last podcast went? Because by now, you should have seen the first episode. So be linked in the comments down below. Drop us a comment on what you think how the first podcast went.
Be honest as well. Be honest.
Yeah. Listen, even if it's a bit of criticism, you need it to improve. And at the end of the day, any suggestions you got or any thoughts that you got from the podcast, we'd love to know.
Give us a little shout. Yeah, I mean, if we're talking truthfully, we still haven't seen it properly yet. Obviously, Diamond's done the editing. But how it felt really good. It felt good. It felt smooth. And obviously over time, because what we were saying was that it was more the connection and the flow between us. I think that was probably the bit that we're worried about the most.
Yeah.
Obviously the cameras, the editing, all of that stuff, that's going to be, I'll keep shouting them out, but our lovely tech team, one of them's not here today, so we have to call him. Good old Amon. But no, honestly, I'm happy with it. And yeah, it's only episode 2 in it, but it's good.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it was eye-opening because obviously I done a bit of the editing on the first one. And the thing was like, look, there's always going to be a bit of mistakes that we're going to make throughout the process. Now, I'll give you guys a little bit of an insight onto what happened when we were recording. One of the cameras cut out. And listen, that is going to happen. So when I was trying to edit it, just didn't work. But this is the thing, like throughout the process, we're going to learn so much because little things like that you can't prepare for. But at the end of the day, like you said, our tech team that was on here you guys don't realize we're working in the back, deleting files off of their phone while we're recording. And look, we still got the episode out. Nothing's going to be perfect. And probably look.
No, it's good. We're happy. We're very happy with it. And now we're on to episode 2.
Definitely. And how's your week though in general? You've been training
so what day is it today? Today's
Wednesday.
So today was a day off. I've been hitting gym recently quite a lot. So I hit 3 days straight on. So I like doing my push-pull legs. 1 day off, push-pull legs. Bro, I'm going to be honest with you. Especially with the jiu-jitsu starting, my legs have been feeling it. I did legs on Sunday, yeah? My legs are still hurting. I don't know why, stupidly, I saw the hack squat and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for it today, yeah? So I loaded it up. I thought, you know what? I'm going to allow my knee pain. I'm just going to go for it. If it hurts later, it hurts later. I haven't done an intense session in ages. Loaded it up, did a drop set, everything, and it's been 4 days since.
That's the hard part, man, because sometimes, yeah, you go into the gym and you're feeling good, your joints are feeling well, and you're getting a proper pump. But that's the days when you sometimes go that 1 set or 2 sets too many, and then a couple of days after, the DOMs are still there. And then it's when the DOMs are still there after day 3, you've gone slightly too far.
Bro, I'll tell you exactly how bad it was, yeah? I yacked up in the gym, and I went home and I yacked up again. That's how intense this session was. Like, the mates that I train with, they'll tell you exactly when it comes to my leg sessions. I don't mess about. But this day, bro, I yacked up in the gym and I yacked up at home. Obviously, too much information, but just telling you how it is. So gym-wise, been smashing it. Work-wise,
nice.
Been off. Christmas, all of that. So been spending a lot of time with the family. So it's been good, bro. It's been good. I can't complain. And obviously, we're here today. So you tell me, how's your week?
Yeah, like, obviously, I'm just slowly building back into the gym. I had shoulder surgery before. So the thing with me right now, it's quite a weird stage that I'm at with my training. Because realistically, yeah, I can't train heavy. And I'm just working on a lot of like mobility, stretching, rotator cuffs. Because I obviously had keyhole surgery in my shoulder. So
I heard something else. Go on.
The hard thing that I find now is that I'm having to build up strength, but from like ground zero. And the thing is, it's so easy to try to push too much weight or push too much volume too early. And realistically, I was speaking to one of the guys that's in the gym who's had the exact same surgery. And one thing he was just reiterating is that do not force the recovery, because otherwise you're just going to be worse off than where you was at pre-surgery. So if anything, like now that I've had the surgery, it's more important for me just to lock in. Don't think about my ego. Don't think about weights. As things feel comfortable, don't just like rush the progress.
But
Just slow.
you've matured though, bro. Let's be honest. You've been working out for a long time, so you have matured in the gym. So like the simple things of like stretching afterwards, things like that. Like I think you are very good with. So
Yeah.
the whole ego lifting side, I don't. I mean, I've seen you in gym numerous times. I don't think I've ever seen you ego lift.
Nah. And I think the reality is that I'm quite aware with my body. Like, because I've been training so many years now, I sort of know what works, what doesn't work for me. And I sort of, because I've been like quite strong before in the past pre-injury, brother used to hit like 50s on chest. So it's not like in most commercial gyms, you're not going to get a dumbbell heavier than 50 kilos. So reality is I've hit those heavy weights. So it's not like I feel like I need to do it again. But let's be honest, like until you get into that stage, you just want to touch them like once or
No,
twice.
of
Do you know what I
course,
mean?
of course.
So like, thankfully, I've done that when I'm younger, and now I can just be a lot more smarter with my training. And the thing which I'm just very aware of now is just stretching out, mobility, just waiting until my shoulder feels ready, then slowly progress the weights. But it's all good, man. I'm off of work now as well. I broke up on Tuesday, so
Lovely.
just one day before Christmas Eve.
And I know you're very strict when it comes to diet. And Christmas time is very known for eating, putting on weight. So what's the situation with the whole food side of
But
things?
look, shall I be honest with you? The way I do it is I don't really feel the need to binge anymore. So most of the time, I'll say it's like a 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, I will just eat clean, yeah? And then if a family function or if something like that comes up, or like a festivity like Christmas, I'll go all out, yeah? Cookies, cakes,
Oh.
whatever, yeah?
Oh,
But it's
tasty.
more that the other times where I feel like I don't need to go off track, I just don't. I just eat my normal diet. And as long as it's a diet which you can sustain for a long period of time, right, for me it works. Like I don't ever feel like I'm cheating on my diet, or that my diet doesn't suit, like it's boring, or if it's bland. For me it's good. It's just like, let's say how
That's what you used to now.
brother, it's like how a fat person eats a burger every day and gets pleasure out of that. My baseline diet, I just get the same amount of pleasure.
You like your fruit as well, though, innit? So it
I
comes
brother
in
eat
handy.
a lot of fruit, pineapple, blueberries, and apples up every single day in my diet. Same as vegetables. Every single one of my meals has vegetables and fruit. That's just like how I've made my diet now.
Fruit's expensive, though, bro. I'll be honest. I get mine for the markets. I have my moments where I'm like, all right, cool, I'm going to grip a couple. But I won't. It's always a selection. So I'll get some pineapple, I'll get some mangoes, I'll get some apples, oranges, that kind of. There's always a selection, grapes as well. I'll get it for the next 3 days and I'll grab it again. And then I won't have it for 2 weeks. That's where I'm very bad at. So I need to be like every Monday, every Thursday, every Saturday, let's just say go. Because I love fruit as well. But then just sometimes you just can't be bothered, man. It's like, oh, a bit of chocolates there, a bit of bakery
Yeah.
stuff. I love it with my tea as well. It's banging.
Yeah, nothing wrong in it, but 100%, it's just finding that balance.
Yeah. Oh, it's good though. So week's going good. And we're on podcast number 2. They're coming quick. We've got a juicy topic today though.
What have you got installed for us today?
Arranged marriages.
This is gonna upset some people. Let's be honest.
I don't know. I think that's more the older generation though. But okay, so I'll ask you then. What's your thought on what is an arranged marriage? What would, if someone says to you arranged marriage, what comes to your head?
I know, for me personally, I know what the viewers are gonna think straight away.
Okay.
When you say arranged marriages, yeah, people are straight away gonna think you've got two people who've not seen each other ever before. They're literally meeting at the day of their wedding. They're chucked in a room together, and that's the first time that they're going to meet each other.
Imagine
I
that.
think, yeah, I think that's the stereotypical, the Western sort of view on Asian arranged marriages. It's literally like putting two people, random people into a room. Mum and dad know who they are. So let's say the girl's mum and dad, the boy's mum and dad. But those two don't know exactly who they're marrying, whether they find each other attractive or anything. It's literally just on the day they're going to see each other.
But that's obviously Western, right? So what's your idea of it though? What would you say is arranged marriage?
For me, arranged marriage, I would just say, like, especially in the like modern day culture, yeah, it's literally two people that, let's say my mum knows a girl that she thinks, you know what, she would be a good daughter-in-law. She's a nice girl. She's probably someone which my son's looking for, like maybe looks wise, culturally, religiously, all these different factors, yeah?
Family's a big one as
Yeah.
well. You know the family
Yeah.
recommendation.
And
Yeah.
they'll just say, look, you know, we know this girl. What do you think of her? Right, you think she's a nice looking girl? Why don't you get to know each other? I think that is like an arranged marriage. It's just like two people that mum and dad, and that's just like basically how it works. You get to know each other.
I think it's important because look, we're not saying that with your first example. It still happens, right? It still happens. Obviously, not so much in the Western society, but it still happens.
Definitely.
But with regards to the other side of things, bro, look, let's be honest here. People go around dating, talking, whatever. The idea is eventually you want to find someone that's a good fit. So with the idea of arranged marriages now, I'd say it's more of a recommendation thing. Someone coming through recommendation from family, from friends, from someone that they know, and be like, listen, what do you think? Set up a meeting or whatever. So it's a lot more relaxed nowadays, I'd say.
Definitely. And look, let's be honest, yeah, there's no shame in it. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, like, let's say you work in a supermarket, yeah, and some girl you're working with, you get talking to her, she's Indian, she's Pakistani, Bangladeshi, whatever, yeah, same culture as you. You get knowing her. It's good. You get to know each other, you go on a few dates maybe, or you're messaging, whatever, yeah. There's no difference from that to like your parents introducing you to a girl and just saying, look, I actually think she's a nice fit. Like, she's culturally good, sort of, we know their family well. And there's no harm in it. I think a lot of people, as soon as they say like, oh yeah, my sort of parents arranged the marriage, like they introduced me to the girl, they cringe away. Like, they don't want to say it. It's like, not that deep, man.
You know what's funny though? So I don't know if you ever had this, yeah? So you know when you were younger and then randomly like the family would be like, listen, we're going back home in like 3 months. I had it where a couple of times I thought, oh shit, they're getting me married off. Like, it was just a thought I had. And I'm sure there's other people had the same type of thought as well.
There.
But have you had it?
I personally haven't, but look,
Okay,
I
bro,
know
it's worrying.
I
You're
know
like,
people
nah.
that have had that.
Call your mates, be like, listen, bro, like if I'm gonna send you a message, just speak to the embassy, speak to someone, just say, listen, I'm screwed. All right, if I send you this, I'm getting married. That's it. But it's like you said, isn't it? There's a lot of additional thoughts that is just blown out of proportion when it comes to arranged marriages. That is one of them. It's just worry, but it is more of an older generation thing. And let's be honest, bro, their times were different.
Let's run it back to their times, because let's be honest, yeah, majority of the like South Asian people that live in England right now, especially, obviously we can't talk about like how it's done back home. That's a complete separate conversation. But our parents' generation, realistically, they probably did meet by an arranged marriage where what would have been our grandparents would have put mum and dad into a room together. They would have known barely anything about each other. At most, they would have met when the agreement was made. And when I say agreement, just when the two families are met and said, here's our boy, here's our girl, I think they're a good match. Do you know what I mean? That is how it was done back then. But you know, I've got nothing against that. Because let's be honest, yeah, times were so different back then.
People were different though, bro. Marriages were different. You know, let's be honest, like our parents, yeah, just a general form. Parents, aunties, uncles, older generation, yeah. General arguments they would have back in those days. Those arguments are being had these days with newer, wedded couples. And bro, like they get divorced. Truthfully, I'm going to be honest with you. I think a lot of people have got less patience these days.
Definitely.
Right? They take less crap, which, I mean, to a certain degree, I can understand. But the other side is you are a couple, you are married. Like, you're going to have issues. But they just used to suck it up. Knowing the fact that they just don't know who this person is, they're getting married to this person. And you know what, bro? Alhamdulillah, most of these relationships work perfectly fine.
Yeah.
They have.
But you have to think about it realistically. Let's even take one topic, yeah? Money, yeah? Money was such a lesser thing back then.
Yeah.
People used to live off such humble livings, like money. You didn't need a ton, like you didn't need to earn £100,000. You didn't need a detached 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom house. You didn't need the car. You didn't need the watches. You didn't need half a kilo of gold because you're going to give it to her sister, your sister-in-law, her niece, her nephew, this, flana. You know what I'm trying to say? That wasn't a thing. It was just the two people that come together, basic marriage, have your family there, your loved ones there, and it was just Tikok. People have not met each other, but you're just bringing them together. Whereas now comparing that, bruv,
it's a very big difference. Very big
massive.
difference. But it was what was norm back then. And I think also as well that trust was a very big thing back then. You trusted that family enough to be like, listen, my daughter, my son, my whoever, let's just get it going. You know, some people are promised beforehand and they get married later. Some people, it's more closer to the time where, like, okay, cool, you're getting married soon, arranged marriage wise. Some of them promised ages ago, right? Some of them are now, etc., etc. But the fact of the matter is that they do work, and they did used to work, because I think times were different.
Definitely, man.
Now you imagine people now.
Now it's a complete different conversation. I think for that scenario to work, it's a lot harder nowadays. Let me give you one example why, yeah? You have Henry VIII, the ruler of the country, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You've got Joe Smo on the street who has had more access to women than Henry VIII because he's got dating apps, he's got Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. He can go on his phone and he can see 100, 200 girls within 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Henry VIII didn't even see 100, 200 girls in his lifetime, yeah? And he was the ruler of the country. Do you know what I'm trying to say? People have more access to women nowadays. So then if you said to that sort of person, son, I'm going to get you arranged marriage tomorrow. He's going to say, what do you mean by that, dad? I'm going to meet you. I'm going to partner you up with someone that you've never met before. You don't know anything about them and you're getting married.
You know what it is though, bro? It, like, the access and stuff like that. Dating, I think, is a completely different. That's a whole topic in on itself,
Definitely.
right? But there is a lot of stigma. Like, us lot hear a lot of stuff. We've seen, you know, individuals that have had arranged marriages that are together, but you're like, okay, cool, you know, X, Y, and Z. But for us, we just get a bit worried. Let's be honest, yeah, because as much as your parents want the best for you, sometimes those conversations aren't a let's sit down and talk about it.
Yeah.
It's not like that. A lot of the time, still, it's like very, oh, I know someone, blah, 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 we're going to go meet him.
But the reality is, you know, especially nowadays, when those type of arranged marriages happen, the parents have already decided in their head that these two are going to get married. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So they're telling you that it's going to be, oh, we're just going to meet them. But in their heads, they're like, I've decided you're getting married to this person. But I think especially like nowadays, people, in my opinion anyway, I will just put this out there. I think people should date. Because personally, the reason why I'm going to say this, yeah, is let's say if you meet someone, like I said, let's say at work, yeah, and they're Indian. So let's say if it was me, for an example, yeah, and the girl's Indian, she's Hindu, and I can tell she's got a decent family, yeah, because you could have conversations with people,
You get
to know
it.
yeah, and you hear the stories about their upbringings or their surroundings or their aunties and their uncles, what their habits are like, and you think, you know what, she's not actually a bad person, yeah. I don't see the harm in that person going on a date. Because at the end of the day, like, if you're ticking all these boxes and you think, you know what, this person would be a really good fit in my family, it's someone that I want my kids to be brought up in the future, then why shouldn't you date them? Because at the end of the day, if you do not date, how are you going to ever get married in the first place?
See, you're coming at it from your angle, yeah?
True.
Now, from my angle, oof, that's a whole different conversation. Dating in my side, like the way that I look at it, yeah, would work the same way, but it'll have to be a bit more, how would I say it? The parents would need to be a bit more involved. My parents would need to know, listen, this is a sketch, whatever, like, do you know their family? There has to be a bit more additional conversation. I mean, let's be honest, like, there are times where you do chat to someone, you're dating X, Y, and Z, yeah, but when it comes down to it, you do need to really think about them and home situation more, because, you know, eventually it is going to be a conversation that needs to be had. You need to make sure that little tick box you've got is ticked off as much as possible for your parents. Like, parents have tick boxes, bro.
Yeah.
They've got a checklist that needs to be ticked. Now, with some stuff of that, you can be like, listen, sit down, have a conversation, X, Y, and Z, yeah? But it's not easy. If I told my mum that, she'd be like, whose daughter is it? Where'd you meet her? What are you doing? When you going? This and that. Bro, it's just additional questions.
You know, that's
too much.
Yeah, that's
I
very...
just want to chill.
Very interesting, because I actually look at it from the complete 360 opposite side. So you know how, like, you would probably get your future missus introduced into the family quite early. Fair enough, respect that 100%, yeah. But I would only probably take a girl to meet my mum and dad when I'm at the stage of I am going to probably want to marry her. Which is quite interesting.
I'm not saying that's what I do. I'm saying that's how it should do.
Yeah.
Best believe, bro. If I start talking to someone 1 week and tell my mum that, she'd beat the crap out of me. I'll tell you straight. Right? Straight.
Nah, fair. But that's what I'm thinking is, like, with me, I would probably, like, the way I'm just looking at it is, I would only take the girl there at the stage to mum and
When
dad
it's serious, yeah,
when
yeah.
I'm thinking, you know what, I'm gonna fully marry this girl. Like, I've done the DBS check, I've got to know her. Like, I can actually see myself spending a long time in like my whole life with this person. So now I 100% get it, because I've never thought of it from where you're saying it, like how that it could work. Because if anything,
Ours is
if
a religious standpoint
and you
as
know the
well,
other
bro.
thing
Like,
is, if the mum and dad, like let's say boys mum and dad, girls mum and dad don't get along, and which is something I've not considered, then
all
what's
right,
gonna
all
happen?
right. I'll ask you that then, yeah. So let's say you've been talking to someone, you've been taking it seriously, yeah, and you think to yourself, you know what? It's been however long, you want to marry this girl. You go home, you have the conversation with your parents. She has a conversation with her parents. They meet. They don't like each other. I'm gonna put that to you. What would you do in
Yeah.
that scenario?
No. That's one thing that while you were just saying that, I was just thinking about that. It just I've not thought of that actual scenario, because then you've got a big issue, because you've only got two options then.
Mm-hmm.
Either you force the marriage knowing that
Then you
throughout
have
your
to.
life the two in-laws are always going to butt heads. Let's be honest, Asians are known for gossiping, yeah?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's in our DNA. It's not that deep, yeah? Let's be honest, everyone gossips, but just Asians put a bit of masala, put a bit of salt,
Yeah,
pepper on
yeah,
it.
yeah,
When
yeah.
I say masala, people, what I mean is salt and pepper. You have a
Spicing it up a little bit.
story, spicing the story up a little bit just to make it a bit more exciting. Now, at the end of the day, you know that's going to happen massively butt heads. And let's be honest, you don't want realistically, when you get married, for you to be brought up, like your kids to be brought up in the culture where mum's side and dad's side are just arguing 24/7. So yeah, I agree. Like, I do really get your point of view. Like, realistically, if you meet each other earlier, then at least you can see if the families work. Like you're saying, if you're from the right areas, if the culturally it aligns. Because
Okay.
otherwise it's not going to work, is it?
I'll change the question a little bit, yeah?
Yeah.
Same scenario. You speak to your parents, because we're talking about arranged marriages now, yeah?
Yeah.
But the conversation they have with you is, oh, I've already told X, Y, and Z that you're going to get married to their child, their daughter, and we had this agreement 4 or 5 years ago.
Now I think that's very difficult.
Because that falls on the category of arranged marriage to a certain degree, right? So
That
let's
is,
say you're already arranged, you don't know it. Let's just say,
yeah. I mean, listen, let's be honest.
what would you
That
do in
does
that
happen.
situation?
Because let's be on real, yeah.
You're
And
what?
that,
You're worrying now, isn't
no, I'm just saying.
it? Let me go chat to him when I go home.
But that does happen in nowadays where mom and dad have already set your marriage up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a very difficult situation, because let's be honest, you've probably, if you're at that stage and you're already thinking about marriage, you probably fall in love with the girl that you've got on the side. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to look at it from the other perspective. That other parent, so your mum and dad have agreed it with someone else's parents, and if it's a girl, she's been sold the dream that she's getting married to you. And for her to accept it and them to bring it up to you means the conversations aren't in like initial talks. They're
It's done
quite,
and dusted, bro.
yeah.
Mm.
I think that's very
Tricky,
difficult.
innit? It's
Because
tricky.
what do you do then? Like, what would you do in that
I don't
situation?
know. I think those types of situations, first of all, I think communication is key. And I think, like, whether it's arranged, whether it's dating, whatever, like, communication is key. If there is a situation like that, I think that should have been spoken about a very long time ago, right? Spoken a very long time ago. For example, like maybe college, university age. Yeah. Once you're going out, you're a bit more open to the world. You're going to be meeting more people through classes, through work, through whatever. It's just life, innit? So I think those types of conversations need to be had with your family if it is. And I would very simply, if that was me, I'd stick it on them and say, look, like, okay, tell me what's been promised. You walk me through the situation and you tell me, I want to know what your thinking is
Yeah.
in this. Who's the girl? What's the situation? I just want to know. Because sometimes it's more like, oh yeah, we spoke about it when you guys were like 8 years old and we just thingied. That's it. Like, times change, but you need to have a conversation with. I'd be vexed. I'll tell you straight.
100%.
I'd be vexed.
Because look, you have to think of it, yeah? And I say this in the most respectful way, yeah? Your parents are trying to write your own script. Like, they've
You've
just...
had your time. Let me do my thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like they're literally just trying to write your own script. Like, they're just saying, this is who we think you should be. This is where your life should go. You're going down this route. Not actually thinking about what's best for the kid, what they want.
You know what that falls under, bro? Overprotection.
100%.
Yeah? I think we both know exactly when it comes down to that. Like we said, we know, we take the mick with you about it. Like, oh, I need to go home. I'm going to be late. All of this stuff, right? But it is overprotection. Like, they obviously want what's best for you. But you also need to remember, like, we'll do what is best for us as well. Yeah, fair enough. Everyone makes stupid mistakes. Everyone does. But we are going to look out for ourselves, look
And
out for our family.
you
But
know
I think
what?
it depends on the person.
And you know one thing that's just come to my head. Let's run this situation, yeah? You
Go on.
do get married to that girl that mum or dad have said, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
And the divorce happens, yeah? What's the first thing you're going to say to your parents? You ruined my life.
No.
You got me. No, I'm just saying if they agree and you go down that route of this is
Wait,
the
wait.
girl.
So is this by my choice or their
No,
choice?
their choice.
This is
So,
their choice.
yeah.
Okay.
You know what the first thing that someone's going to say? Because
Yeah.
everyone's going to say it. They're going to say, you ruined my life. I went with what you said. You knew the best. Yeah. I went with what you said. And now I've got a divorce. I'm not happy. Or I'm not in love with this person. The first thing you're going to do is go to your parents and say, you're the one that arranged this marriage. You forced me into this situation.
Yeah. So, with my parents, when it comes down to that kind of stuff. So I said to them, like, so I'm not married yet, 30. And then I go to these guys, like, you don't go out anywhere. So where am I supposed to be traditionally meeting someone? Yeah. And my mum said to me, look, we can go around meeting whoever. Yeah. Speak to whoever's parents. At the end of the day, I don't want anything in your heart to be afterwards. God forbid it doesn't work. To be like, we are the ones that introduced you to this family, to this girl. And God forbid it doesn't work. But we don't want anything in our hearts and your heart to think, you know what, it's because of them that this happened. My mum said that. I did say to her, still, obviously, like, go out, meet some people,
Yeah.
because where am I going to meet people, bro? I don't go out no more. But that is another factor to it.
But you know the beauty behind that is that your mum's looking at it from a very pure intention and a very thing of like, look, it's a new world. Life's very different right now.
Oh, mate,
She
she's
knows
wicked. I can
that.
chat to her on a level.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing within itself because let's be honest, a lot of Asian parents unfortunately aren't like that. They're very hard, set ways, my way or the highway. And this is how life should be, and this is the way that you need to live. Whereas look, your mum, regardless of how she got married or how she met her husband or whatever, the difference is she knows that in the UK right now, it's probably not going to work straight away like that. Whatever's going to make you happy and whatever's going to work for you.
Yeah, I just want to clarify that there are guidelines and rules that I've been given. All right, it's not a
Not a
it's
free
not
for all.
Gora flex. Do what you need to do, kind of thing.
Yeah,
But yeah, alhamdulillah, bro. Like like I said, the mum's been brought up here, bred here, so she's come from back home, as in family wise, but she's been brought up in a Western society her whole life, so she sees it, she knows it, she gets it. So it does. I was very lucky that like I said, that little story about arranged marriage going back home, it was silly because arranged marriages would never ever come to my mother's mind, ever. It wouldn't. I just know it would not. But yeah, I still used to shit it
yeah.
because of this whole.
It's a stigma, man.
Yeah.
And I think it's just created from outside societies where as soon as you say to someone, oh yeah, I've had a semi-arranged marriage where it's like my parents introduced me to someone, to the outside person, they straight away think you didn't know who that person was. You just got launched into the room last minute and you got put together.
Bro, I've seen so many videos on Instagram, yeah, and it's this mate that's like snapping his holiday. Yeah, oh, sick! I'm going back home for a couple of weeks, and then the next picture is him on the stage with his missus, soon to be missus, and someone's obviously snapped that, be like, oh, he got excited thinking he's going to come for a holiday. He didn't know he's coming for his own wedding. So this guy, I think he's from up north or something, bro, it made me crease. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go back home and all of this stuff. Next thing you see a picture of him like this, absolutely vexed.
Yeah.
Absolutely vexed, and the man's getting married.
It happens, man.
It happens. But yeah, man, I don't know. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't have any issue with my parents recommending someone.
100%.
But the arranged marriage thing, bro, I just couldn't do it.
Listen,
Imagine just how awkward that would be.
and the thing is, yeah, it's like, this is another thing that's just spun to my head, yeah?
Go on.
Have you ever watched that program, Channel 4, I think it's on, Married at First Sight?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like that. It's just a train wreck.
No, but I think they have certain, because prior to them meeting whoever it is, they do have a couple of things that they'd like their other half to be like. So I think this one girl, she was like, I want him to look like this, tats, etc., blah, blah, blah. So she had a little
Yeah,
specifically
yeah.
what she wanted. The guy looked nothing like it at all.
Oh, I know you're talking about the one that was a little bit curvy. The boy was like,
I
and he
think
was a
so.
really nice guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was the same
it
one.
was that one. Yeah, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. But you know what? And not to dive off the topic too much, but you know where I don't agree with stuff like that.
Hmm.
That girl saying that my type is tall, dark, handsome, tattoos, a little bit of a rough around the edge, whatever. And she got a nice guy. Yeah, let's put it straight. A nice guy's finished last, and this guy did. But the thing I'm gonna say, yeah, you're saying you've got that type. You're single. I'm sorry, you're single. Like, you're coming onto this show, you're not married,
Hmm.
you're single, and you are trying to get married. So you're actively seeking marriage and a long term relationship. So obviously, whatever your intended type is, or what you think on paper you like, doesn't work for you, because otherwise, let me give you a reality check, you would be married by now, or you'd be in a committed relationship.
Hmm.
So them bringing you someone who is totally opposite of your standards type shows what you need and not what you want.
Yeah, but I think there's like that's if it's like a new partner, new girlfriend, new boyfriend, cool, brother. You've gone from this is my type to this is the person I'm getting married to. I completely understand what you're saying. I'm not denying that at all. But the time that they chose to flip it is when she's getting married
Yeah, it's too
to the
late. And
next man.
that's my whole thing with it. And that's why I find that program so, like, to an extent, not hypocritical, but just,
But that also falls under the whole reason why I wouldn't want to get arranged marriage, bro.
yeah,
Because I would want some type of control on what they look like, how they talk. You know, something as simple as that. What kind of accent they have. You know.
and even just how they're with their family, man. I think, especially, and like, not to go like so off on a tangent, but like, one thing I would probably look at is like, especially how a girl, like, let's say if it's someone that I would want to potentially have a long term relationship with, is how do they speak to their mother? Because that, listen, you can fake how you are with your so-called partner, yeah, but how a girl talks to their mother speaks 1,000 words,
Bro.
because you know how she talks to her mother is the real person how they are. So if they're swearing at their mom, or they don't show any respect, or if they haven't got that close knitted love with their mum, you know that is a massive red flag, like, straight away.
Bro, I had a conversation with someone on call, talking. Yeah, this is to get to know each other, and then her mum's calling her. What you want? I'm on the phone. I'm like, what? Who are you talking to? He's like, that's my mum. I was like, you chat to your mum like that? She goes, yeah, but she's just, you know, she's just been annoying me recently. I was like, it doesn't matter. You're gonna chat to me like that if I annoy you? She said, no, no, I want to talk to. I was like, I'm going based on this. It's very simple things, but it goes a long way.
100%.
It goes a long way. But I think, yeah, the way that they talk to their parents and stuff like that, bro, it can be either very off-putting or the most warming thing to see.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, when you hear someone saying like "Giamma,
Yeah, yeah.
Giabbo, T," you know, like
Yeah,
that.
just a little bit of respect, man.
Yeah,
Goes
bro,
big
it's
way,
lovely to
man.
see. It's lovely to see, and that's what you want. You know, you just want that nice warmth, soft heart.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
See, now we might as well throw out our, you know, what we're looking for requirements wise. But yeah, bro, it's an interesting thing. Arranged marriages, they work now, but in the right context.
Definitely.
You know, not a complete boom. It has to, and communication, I think, is key. Honestly.
Definitely. So, all right, let's put arranged marriages to an extent to one side. How do you probably think people should meet nowadays then? So, if it's not just putting two people in a room together, what do you think?
I think through recommendation still works. I know there's like the typical, there's always the rishta aunties,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, that you make a little profile, give them the profile, they'll put it on the little thing, spread it out on WhatsApp, etc. And then that, I say that, I haven't made a profile. I think I'm not a very CV type of individual. I think a lot of my stuff is more sort of things you can't really write about.
Definitely.
You know, more of an in-person kind of thing. But I'd say through recommendation, work's a good one, depending on
Definitely.
what kind of work. If you're working in, I think especially Arpney, if you're working in law, finance, those kind of industries, bro, you'll be able to find someone.
Definitely,
For sure.
especially in finance, because a lot of us
Oh, I love
Asians
it.
stereotypically just go and work in those sort of like,
Doctor as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And listen, if you meet someone at work, I don't know why Asian people like would shy away from it.
Perfect.
Because I remember even back like when we'd be working in Tesco's, and even if one of the boys is talking to a girl, the other boys would be like, "Oh, bruv, look at him," It's like, and I would sometimes say, I was like, what, do you want him to talk to another boy then? Like, he's getting to know. No, but do you know what I'm trying to say? Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. But it's just
They
a
get
bit like,
charged, bro. They get
yeah.
charged.
And
Yeah,
you know
that's
what
the
that is?
thing.
It's just an insecurity.
It
They're,
is.
they're just thinking he's got more kahunas than me to go up and chat to the girl and just get to know her than the other guys who are just standing there on the outside thinking, she looks nice, but I can't do. You know what I mean? Doing a bit of window shopping. They're like,
Yeah.
no, definitely, I think work's a big one. Definitely. I think even if your aunties recommend you into someone, that's perfect.
Yeah, have a conversation with them. Say, okay, what type of person are the X, Y, and Z? All right, cool. Right, let's have a meeting.
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
matter. It's cool. Just get to know. It's fine. Because you're still gonna you go on the apps. You're still gonna meet someone having to have like you need those conversations anyway.
And let's be
Would you do
honest,
this and that?
especially going on those dating apps, I don't think there's anything wrong with it in the sense that people do meet other people like this. Because let's be honest, especially nowadays, people are less social. A lot of people don't go out as much, let's say, or they're a lot more just drawn to their phones. So maybe if they go on that site just to
Too
sort
much
of,
access. No. I'll tell you straight, bro. It's too much access. If there's something very, very minute, very minor you don't like, oh, boom, chat
that's
someone else.
another thing. That's a
But it's
complete,
minute. It's very
yeah,
small. Very, very small. And maybe you haven't even asked a question about it.
yeah, that's true as
And
well.
oh, okay, boom, next person.
That's
Yeah, oh,
true.
no, not feeling that. Boom, next person. That's what I mean.
I think it's a fine line. It's one of those ones you have to go into it with the right intentions.
With the right intention.
Because if you're going into it with the right intentions of, as long as she's like, let's say if it was for me, yeah, as long as she's Indian, yeah, and she's, let's say, Hindu, Gujarati or something like that, that's fine, yeah, and she's from our sort of culture, I'm happy with that. But it's like what you're saying. If you're looking for the minutest of details, like she's 5'2", I want her to be 5'1", boom,
You're never
gone.
going to find no one.
You're never gonna find anyone, and I
Bro,
think that's a massive thing.
I know
Is
people that were going through that stage, Rishte were coming, and they kept saying no. Because of simple things like, oh, I'm not feeling the hair, or maybe the ears are a little bit big. Just very minute stuff. And bro, they're a lot older now, and they're unfortunately because with age, your choices, your options, they'll get
definitely.
reduced. So it's like, oh, and I know for a fact there's probably times where like, oh, that mate was alright, or that girl was alright. I don't know why
Yeah.
I said it's too much access.
Listen, I've even heard it to the stage where someone will even say, I don't like the way her teeth look. I don't like the way her teeth
Yeah,
look.
but some people like mash up though.
No,
bro. I
but
mean, it depends
listen,
on the teeth,
brother,
innit?
you know if someone's going to this, listen, you can go Turkey, 2.5 grand, you can get veneers put in. It's not that deep nowadays. Like, if it's that much of an issue, go get veneers put in. Go get composite bonding or whatever, yeah? If you're looking at it from that minute details, you know that you're going into it with a dead end. It's like a red.
Yeah,
but it's,
finding no one.
Nah, but I think you're right. I think especially if people are going to go on dating apps now, go into it with the right intentions of, look, I'm going to look for a partner. I'm going to be open-minded. I'm not going to go in with this 10-point checklist of if she doesn't meet X, Y, and Z, I'm not going for her.
You should have your non-negotiables.
Definitely. So like for
100%.
me, I'm Hindu, yeah? So I don't eat beef. So if I met a girl that was in that sort of scenario where they ate beef, see you later.
You
Like,
just make it, yeah.
because for me, I'll put it straight to you. I'll even run it 10 years forward, yeah? I'm married to, I've got kids. What are my kids going to eat? Are they going to eat beef or are they going to listen to me? That's a number one problem. Number two, I want to look after my parents in my own household because I want to take that responsibility of making sure my mum and dad live in a stable home where they've got their son, and that just like we done with our grandma, we look after her. I want to look after my parents in the exact same way.
Take
But
notes.
the thing is, I don't want my mum to be in the situation where she's thinking my daughter-in-law is eating beef. Why should I put her through that? So that's another thing. Like, we have our non-negotiables, and that's fine. But it's like what you said, intention, the massive point. And boys, you have to, especially because let's be honest, there's gonna be majority boys watching this. Just don't go onto these apps with like a complete checklist, man. It's just go with an open mind, go with good intentions, and number one thing of all is respect. Any girl that you are going to meet on there, show her respect. Just like you speak to your mother, because at the end of the day, that's someone's sister, that's someone's daughter that you're speaking to. So for you to speak to her in a rude or belittling way or waste her time is disingenuous.
And that also goes for the ladies as well.
Yeah,
I want to
100%.
clarify that this is obviously, be respectful. See, you got a bit surprised by that one, innit? Come on,
Yeah.
bro. Men and women,
Nah, definitely.
both of them have moments. But yeah, I think it's all about openness. Communicate. If we like saying communication, I like saying communication. I think it's key, but you can go through a lot of things with just talking, letting it out, and discussing any issues that you've got. But all right, so arranged marriage for you, that is a yes or a no? If your parents said, let's say,
Nah, I wouldn't do it.
no?
Listen, like, I'm not being funny. Like, I don't have, like, in my opinion, I don't have the, like, let's say, mental capacity just to be put in front of someone just like that and said, this is like who you're meeting, this is your married. I'd be very open to if someone said to me, like, this is a girl, like, we know their family, whatever. Fair enough. Go for it. Like, for me personally, I think that's completely fine. But for me personally, to do the whole stereotypical arranged marriage, nah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
So what about you?
Nah, not happening. Not happening. You put someone in front of me for me to have a conversation, but like that, no chance. No chance. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. But I think that should be. Because the thing is, I like talking about the dating stuff and things like that. But I think we'll tease you with that, do a little teaser, and then we'll discuss it further with apps, etc., in a future podcast.
Yeah, 100%. And I think especially comment down below anything that people have thought about our topics. You'll probably listen, let's be real, yeah. You're not going to agree with us 100%, yeah? So drop a comment down below. Subscribe onto the YouTube. We're going to be posting regularly, Instagram. And that's a wrap. Episode 2 out. And we'll see you in the next one.